Take it slowly, this book is dangerous.
VTuber Amelia, you're competing with me in predicting the future. How would you know that Dr. Seuss is going to be problematic? Like, look at her, all gangsta-like. In gangsta while reading from Seuss's book.
Ready? Knocks and fox, fox and socks, knocks on fox and socks and box.
Don't you know it's heretical literature now, boy? It's very problematic. Yeah, it should be banned. We live in a society where Cardi B is to be praised, but Dr. Seuss is to be shunned. And people say it's like, oh, they canceled Dr. Seuss. No, they didn't cancel Dr. Seuss. They destroyed his legacy. That's what they did. And you have to wonder, like, why? And the answer is simple. In order to make way for the new, the modern way of thinking, you got to tear down the old. Because the old is very problematic. See, it's not really about Dr. Seuss being racist. I can't name a single kid who read Dr. Seuss and then started hating Japanese people in the age of anime. If anything, most young people that I know of want to go to Japan. Yeah. You're telling me the Biden administration, which acknowledged the fact that there's a problem in China with the Uyghurs. There's just a little bit of a problem there. They're not going to do much about it, though. Because, you know, China has its own culture, and if they want to go that route, I mean, who is Biden to wiggle their finger at them? It's much more convenient to wiggle the finger at Dr. Seuss, right? So why do it? You know, because obviously they don't care about Asians. Actions speak for themselves. I don't care about words. I care about how people act. And the reason is that Dr. Seuss represents a different ideology. It represents the old. And the old is about fascistic concepts such as freedom and liberty. When's the last time you read about those in the newspaper? Now, seriously, ask yourself. You read progressive papers, don't you? You read the New York Times. You read the Washington Post. When's the last time you read about concepts like freedom and liberty and why they're important? Just think, seriously, just come up with the article. Tell me the article. Because 6 years ago, you'd have read. You don't care about it. It's like the new is all about obeying. Just consume, buy product, stay at your home, obey, listen to the fact checkers. Like all reality needs to go through the fact checkers before you can understand the real world. And that's the new way of thinking. Now, why is Dr. Seuss so problematic? What exactly did he do which upset the New World Order? Well, I think there's a story about the Sneetches. There's a story that he made about a fictional alien race called the Sneetches. And the Sneetches are these weird looking creatures that are kind of the same but not really. You see, there's a small difference about the Sneetches. They got a star on their belly. Not all of them, mind you. Some of them do. And that star makes them special, doesn't it? So they start organizing their society around the Sneetches that have the star versus the Sneetches that don't. Kind of a little bit racist, isn't it? I mean, it's really the same species of creature, but like they're separated by whether or not they have a star. So it's just their appearances. And yeah, I mean, in the end, what ends up happening is that they realize that they're all Sneetches, so they stop discriminating. What a horrible story to teach to children, isn't it? What a god-awful story that is, if you're not for freedom and liberty. Because what Dr. Seuss did is that he was promoting liberalism, which is akin to fascism nowadays. Liberalism is an ideology that's also against racism. And the way it fights racism is very similar to how progressives fight against gender discrimination. They're promoting gender abolition. So it's the gender abolition movement, right? Well, it's the same how the liberals tackle the race problem. It's like they promote the race abolition. Because if there's no more races, then, well, you can't really be racist towards something that doesn't exist. Now, of course, reality does exist and races are real, but the liberal way of view is like, don't treat someone differently just because their skin color. Like, get to know the person, talk to them a little bit. And after you spoke with them, treat them according to their character. That's what the liberal ideology is. And it goes against the progressive ideology, which is now being pushed on Cartoon Network. And it's like, no, you need to see race, you need to see color. And like, the liberal ideology doesn't deny the fact that race exists. They of course, they see color and they understand. It's just that they don't view that as their worldview. They don't focus around it. It's in the name, racist, it stands for ideology, like capital ist, right? A person that's the ideology of capital, communist, person that's with the ideology of communes, feminist, and racist, person that creates his worldview and his ideology through the prism of race. So that's why Dr. Seuss has to go. There's no room for people like Dr. Seuss in the new culture. Yeah. And I expect, like, a lot of people are shocked by this. Like, they pretend that one day just some crazy liberals got up and they went against Dr. Seuss. Like, no, this was long in the making. It's just people didn't pay close attention. Because here's the thing. I don't think Biden really gives a crap. Seriously, like, I don't think Biden loses sleep over the fact that Dr. Seuss exists or not. There are activists who do. For example, activists from BLM. I mean, check this out.
I actually had to, once I heard the story, pull out our Dr. Seuss books that are on my children's bookshelf and take a closer look at them so I can see exactly what it was that was the complaint. And as is normal for many of us.
What was it? I mean, actually, I've been obviously speaking tongue-in-cheek because this is, like, literally demented. But since you said that you checked Dr. Seuss for racism, what did you find? Where were the racist parts?
So you look at many of the drawings and you have to put it in the context of the times that many of these books were written. And you can see that there are some very stereotypical drawings of Asian Americans. Dr. Seuss was known for some very stereotypical blackface drawings prior to the books that most of us are familiar with.
So BLM doesn't get what they want. Like they wanted a lot of things. Some economical in nature, other more to do with defund the police and whatnot, and they're not getting any of that shit. So they have to get something, right? Because they contributed, like they helped Biden gain office, and hopefully they can help him again 4 years from now. So they need something. So they get a bone that's left at the table. It's like, oh, well, you wanted Dr. Seuss to be canceled. Here you go. And that's pretty much it, that's why. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe, huh? You guys remember that? Did you watch that as a kid? Well, watch it again because it's probably going to get canceled soon as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And do tell me what you think about this video format. I realized I messed up when I managed to get home because I didn't catch any of the fish. Didn't catch any of the fish on camera. I was holding my phone with one hand and I was having to break the bread and throw it with the other, so I didn't actually look through the camera. But yeah, I want to do more of these videos in nature, in the wild, but I'm going to have to buy some better equipment. I'm going to have to buy some gear because my phone just won't cut it. And especially like something that, like a tripod where I can have my hands free and I can just talk and go in front of the camera or whatever and show you guys what I'm filming. Because there's a lot of wildlife here. I saw foxes, I saw a lot of cats, and there's a pond with fishes. Sometimes there are ducks and tortoises, and I think I could get some nice footage. Plus, I do some exercise because it's not very close to my home. I have to travel a little bit. But yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm. And if you want, you can consider donating. There's a link into the description. I will use the money in order to buy some actual equipment. And once it's getting warm outside, once it's getting nice, try to do more of these types of videos. See you guys.